Yeah, I just have to retake this trucking story. The volume 8 broke story. Volume 8 was it's a bad audio quality. So I'm gonna just briefly talk about the experience again because it was bad audio quality. So basically the trucking story, basically, as far as how I went to trucking school, was basically started in 2012. 2012. This was around November of 2012. One of the reasons why I decided to talk about this is because it was an article that I saw earlier this week about there being a trucking shortage. So there is some type of trucking shortage. And It's kind of like a call to action for people that don't, have a job or looking to change things up or whatever. Basically, a lot of what is out there, a lot of times, is a lot of trucking jobs. I worked in a railroad yard, and one of the things that I was told was that there's not enough truck drivers to carry the containers for that basically are needed to be transported. So it's always a situation where I see a lot of truck drivers constantly working. I've one of the things I always say is that I've never seen a broke nurse, such as like a nurse that's like really, really struggling. Um, and I've never really seen a truck driver that was constantly, with pocket lint. So that's one of the things that truckers good for getting a paycheck, a consistent paycheck. But I basically went to sign up to go to truck driving school at a company called CR England. Okay. CR England, they're primarily, they transport food. They transport food to like Walmart and different grocery stores and stuff like that. That's their main bread and butter as far as their industry. Um, Very, very wealthy company, old company. And what they do is they train you for free. They actually even house you in a hotel for free. Only thing that you have to pay for is your meals, and you have to pay for your license fees and your permit, because you have to get a permit to actually be a student driver. Okay. And you have to pay for any type of like fees that involve with getting your CDL license and it's testing and stuff like that. So after, I mean, pretty much what I had to do was basically go to a town in Indiana called LaPorte, Indiana. That was where their training locations were. Just basically a bunch of square footage mile of just space where they had open road where you could practice driving a truck on a yard. So the first week of the class, it was mainly like discussion, class discussion, just slides and stuff like that. And I think like towards the end of the week, they let you go into the yard to actually start driving the trucks. And yeah, it was a pretty much a crash course. It was only 2 weeks, so you had to pretty much, it was a sink or swim situation. So you had to learn the trucking terminologies such as the air brakes and the air hoses and different parts of the truck. Then you also had to back up the truck, and also do certain parking maneuvers uh, that involve parking, and also drive the truck. Now I'll tell you what got me. Okay, I knew the parts of the truck and all of that. I actually even knew how to drive a truck. I can get in a big rig right now. It's just a big ass truck with a stick shift. You can get right in the truck and drive off with it. But what got me, which gets a lot of people that actually try to go, test for to get a CDL, is parking the truck. That was very, very challenging. You're parking a big tractor trailer truck and you cannot see behind like a regular car. You only see your left and right mirrors, which was called your tandem mirrors, and it was extremely difficult. But yeah, so I was there like 3 weeks because I stayed an extra week because I was trying to see if I can get this thing, done, because it was like you can take multiple attempts to test. And it was like, okay, well, after a while, I just pretty much kind of like saw the writing on the wall. I'm not meant to be a trucker right now. Let me go home. And, after that, I learned quite a bit, but did not pass the driving portion to, it was basically you had to spot the parts of the truck. That was the first part of it. You had to point out different parts of the truck. Then you had to do parking. You didn't even get to the point where you drove out of the yard to actually go take the test to get on the road until you passed the parking portion. So I never even got to the point where I was actually driving the truck outside the yard, because that was once you pass the yard and you got it back in the truck, pretty much the driver instructor would just basically pass you off to get your CDL at that point. So that was my trucking experience. I basically went back home after about probably 6 months. I just got back in the IT field. So yeah, this is my broke story number, volume 8. The thing is that I'll try to do it again if I have to. If I had to go, um, if push come to shove, I need to make some money. I try to go take the test again and get it. So one of the things I'll say is, all these people, you know, that got these excuses and stuff like that, um, got just nothing but pocket lint. Man, I got to say is, uh, containers always need to be moved, and the fact that you ain't moving them is just the reason why you got pocket lint.